Hello, hi, it's me again. Today we're going to read Splash by Jane Hissey, a real favourite. I used to read this one at every opportunity. Old Bear and the other toys were having a lovely day at the seaside. Little Bear had never been to the sea before. "It's bigger than the biggest bath," he cried as he chased his new beach ball in and out of the waves. "And I'll never run out of sand, even if I build 100 sand castles." Little Bear left his beach ball and began to dig with his spade. Rabbit soon joined him. "What are we making?" asked Rabbit from the bottom of the hole. "Well, it was meant to be a sand castle," said Little Bear, "but it seems to be going down instead of up." It could be a boat," said Sailor. They patted down the sides of the hole and found a plank of wood to make a seat. Jolly Tall fetched a long piece of driftwood for a mast. "What a lovely boat," said Bramwell Brown, as he brought them his red towel to use as a sail. "And it really moves," said Little Bear. "It can't really move," said Duck. "It's made of sand." "Well, it's nearer the sea than when we started," said Little Bear. "Oh, it's not the boat that's moved," explained Sailor. "It's the sea. The tide has come in. It goes in and out every day to wash the beach clean." Little Bear suddenly remembered his new ball and ran to where he'd left it by the water. "Oh no!" he cried. "The sea has taken my ball." Before anyone could stop him, he jumped into his bucket and was heading out to sea. "Come back!" shouted Old Bear. "You can't go to sea in a bucket." "It's all right," cried Little Bear. "I'll be back in a minute." The bucket bobbed up and down in the waves, and Little Bear bounced about inside it. He began to think that this wasn't such a good idea after all. He couldn't see the lost ball anywhere. "Perhaps a shark has eaten it," he thought, and then he began to worry that a shark might eat him too. "I'm coming back," he called, but when he tried to paddle, he just went round and round in circles. Old Bear was right, thought Little Bear. You can't go to sea in a bucket. Suddenly there was a big gust of wind. The bucket wobbled wildly from side to side and then tipped right over. With a splash, Little Bear tumbled into the sea and the bucket slowly sank beneath the waves. "Help!" gasped Little Bear, clinging to his spade to stay afloat. "Somebody help!" "Oh, hold on, Little Bear!" cried Sailor from the beach. "We'll throw you a rope." But at that moment they saw a fluffy white face pop out of the water right in front of Little Bear. It was a small furry creature wearing a string of seashells around its neck and a bucket on its head. "I believe this is yours," it said to Little Bear. "My bucket!" spluttered Little Bear. "Thank you, but who are you? Are you a shark?" "No, not a shark," laughed the creature. "I'm a seal. My name is Splash. Now quickly, climb on my back. We don't want you to sink like your bucket." Little Bear scrambled onto Splash's back and waved triumphantly to the others. They cheered when they saw that he was safe. "What were you doing so far from the beach?" asked Splash. "It was the wind's fault," explained Little Bear. "It blew me out of my bucket." "But you can't go to sea in a bucket," said Splash. "I know that now," said Little Bear, and he explained how his new beach ball had been taken away by the tide. "I shall probably never find it," he said sadly. "I think I know where your ball is," said Splash. "I'll show you." With Little Bear clinging to her seashell necklace, Splash swam swiftly through the waves. "This is like a speedboat," cried Little Bear. "We're going faster than the wind." They soon arrived at a rocky ledge, and before Little Bear knew what was happening, they had slipped through a curtain of seaweed and into a secret cave. In through there. Wow, look. Little Bear stared in amazement. All around them were rows and rows of seaside things. Sandals and spades. There's some spades up there. Towels and toys, buckets, balls and boats. It's a treasure cave, gasped Little Bear. And there's my ball. How did it get in here? I rescued it, said Splash. I found all these things floating in the sea. The tide takes them from the beach and I save them and bring them here. Splash hopped over to Little Bear's ball and bounced it down to where he was waiting. Oh, thank you, cried Little Bear. But what will you do with all the other things? I play with them for a little while, explained Splash. Then, when nobody's looking, I take them back to the beach. But aren't you sorry not to have them any more? Asked Little Bear, balancing a pair of sunglasses on his nose and a straw hat on his head. Not really, laughed Splash. There are always lots more lost things to be rescued. I'd like to stay here forever, said Little Bear. It's like a toy shop. But your friends will be worried about you, said Splash. I think I should take you back to the beach. Clutching his things, Little Bear climbed onto Splash's back. Then together they slipped through the seaweed curtain and set off for the shore. Whoosh! Old Bear and the other toys were waiting anxiously on the beach. Little Bear couldn't wait to introduce his new friend. Thank you, Splash, said Bramwell. You saved Little Bear. It was a pleasure, said Splash, and it's been fun having someone new to play with. You must see Splash's treasure cave, said Little Bear. It's amazing. Another time, perhaps, said Old Bear. It's getting late, and we really should be going home. Can Splash come and live with us? Cried Little Bear. I could make her a cave under my bed and she could swim in the bath. It does sound fun, said Old Bear, but Splash already has a home. She lives here, by the sea. And who would return all the lost things if I weren't here? Laughed Splash. But, she added kindly, I have something you can take home with you, Little Bear. She took off her shell necklace and slipped it over Little Bear's head. There, she said, you can remember our seaside adventure every time you wear this. And come back soon, won't you? Oh, thank you, Splash, cried Little Bear. I will. There we are. It's a lovely story. Splash, by Jane Hissey. Bye.